Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the APA Season 13 Showdown League, and well, coming off of the back of the last season, our team came second overall. There are 3 teams of 8, and our team came second. I came about mid-table record-wise, even with 4 and 8, so that's not too bad for a replacement coach indeed. This year, the Dewford City Dewgongs will be... there is no teams this year. Unfortunately, only the best team got a franchise pick, so they could take a Mon from the previous season of Tier 2 and below and use that this year. I unfortunately wasn't one of those, but there are some scary drafts here. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk through my draft itself, what it can do, my thoughts behind it, etc. And then we're going to go through some of the other teams' drafts and see just exactly how best we match up. Okay, so this is my team page that you see right at the moment. And so round 1, we picked up Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham is terrifying. So we had 9th out of 24 people, so that's quite a lot of people. So you'd think that you wouldn't really be able to get too much, but 9th you kind of get top 10 picks still, I guess. And a couple of people took unconventional stuff because they weren't sure it'd come back to them and they really wanted it. So thankfully, yeah, we got Mega Medicham at 9th, which is obviously really strong. It's got amazing coverage. It goes over 100 speed. So let's have a look at it first. Yeah, here we are. So Mega Medicham with pure power, I think that gives it 1. Oh, it doubles it. Yeah. Okay. So technically base 200 attack, base 100 speed is still really good. Unfortunately, doesn't quite hit the 105 meta game, which is a really nice number. 105, 110, but 100 base speed is really good because it's on par with all of the mythical Pokemon like Celebi, Victini, and Manaphy, etc., which is really good. Psychic and Fighting are hard stuff to switch into. High Jump Kick and Zen Headbutt are probably their main things that you would expect to see on it. It gets Bullet Punch and Fake Out. Is really good priority as well. It's just nice to have all the elemental punches. It even gets Recover, it's really weird. Psycho Cut or Zen Headbutt, it depends if you want to go for more of a crit set. I would probably be relying more on Zen Headbutt for the flinches, to be honest. Not that I need it. It's basically just which punches do I bring every week or whatever. I don't think I will be bringing special too often. It does get a few other stuff, I guess. Like, I could Foresight into a ghost Pokemon or 1 point. I do get Faint as well. There's that. Yeah, so there's some interesting stuff here. To be honest, I can Vacuum Wave as well. That's quite interesting. But yeah, it's the stats that really 200 base attack and 100 base speed. There isn't really much that actually switches into it, and you'll see later exactly why it's amazing. I kind of treat the entire team as something that gels together. More than anything else. Now, looking into the next part of my team, I've got Landorus Incarnate, and this is one of my Z users. Landorus Incarnate getting back to me in round 2 is quite impressive. I know it is only a tier 2 Pokemon, but it's definitely a round 2 pick, to be honest. It does not get Sheer Force, it only gets Sand Force, but there's a reason it's banned ladder. Yeah, so looking at it, I only get Sand Force, obviously I'm a Z user, but I do have a Sand Setter, so basically it effectively does have Sheer Force, to be honest. Yeah, and obviously that gives me the 1.3 times boost to its already tremendous 125 base. So it doesn't hit quite as hard as Medicham, but 1.3 times is still pretty good. It's not the same as double it to 200, but we're sitting at about 150-ish on both its attack or special attack, and that's versatility is really good. 101 speed, obviously it outspeeds all of the mythical stuff, which is amazing by a single point. Yeah, it's not got the worst defenses in 90, 80, and 89 HP either. It can be run physical or special. Carmine, it gets Defog, which is really good. Yeah, so you can run things like Psychic and all the hidden powers, Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, etc. Or you can choose to run it physical, get like Knockoff, like things like Brick Break, Rock Slide, Stone Edge even. Superpower, it gets U-Turn, which is really good for momentum. This team really appreciates momentum and getting things in safely. Yeah, it's pretty hard one to switch into. My front office suggested this quite primarily. For the first couple of picks, I didn't really know what I wanted. I was just like, I know what I want round 3. I don't know what to get round 1 and 2, etc. And they were just like, Mega Medicham seems pretty good at this point at 9th. I know Mega Morwell was still around, but because of what I wanted round 3, Mega Medicham did make more sense. Landorus, and of course Medicham's faster, which I really do appreciate. Landorus is of course something great. Blaze, who's in my front office, we played him a couple of weeks ago in the Little Cup as well. Yeah, he's using this in the Indigo League, which is the D League for APA at the moment, and he's destroying a lot of the competition. So there's a chance that he's making playoffs with it. I'm really pleased. I can run Swords Dance. I can run Rock Polish, so double dance there. I got Z Fly if I need to. It's very versatile mon, which is really good. My third mon, which as you can see here, is Bishop. Bishop, B Sharp, whatever you want to call it. Bishop is probably one of my favourite mons of all time. I've never really actually got to use it in draft format, so I finally get to use it, and that's kind of what I based the team around. It does get in a focus and pressure, but who really cares? It gets Defiant, and Defiant is amazing when supported well. Basically +2 anytime someone decides to intimidate me or use defog on me or any other stat dropping. Like they might accidentally get me, I don't know, with one of those random stat drops, say from like Earth Power or something. Hopefully I'm not going to be switching in on an Earth Power, but you get the point. They lower one of my drops and then I get +2, and I'm just like, so... +2, eh? +2 Sucker Punch, +2 Knockoff, +2 Iron Head. Yeah, Psycho Cut. I can Rock Polish on I get Stealth Rocks. You know, I get Taunt as well, which is really good. Basically, it just comes in and Knockoff hurts a lot. Like, it does like 70-80% to basically near enough the entire metagame at +2, which... like thinking about the amount of walls that there are in the game, doing 70 to 80% with its stab to like everything is just ridiculously good. So yeah, apart from like things that resist dark, I guess. Yeah, so it's something I really wanted. It's not got the best speed in 70, but it's decent mid tier. I can always chuck a Scarf on if I need to. But 125 attack, again, it's massive. And it gets this priority that my team really appreciates. Because, like, come on, when you've got such a fast team, priority, you need priority because they will just priority you back and die. I kind of wanted Serena, which would have been really helpful to the team, but fortunately that didn't happen. But yeah, Bishop is going to be one of my favourite mons, and hopefully I can use it quite well. Now, somehow, at round 4, I managed to pick up Manaphy, or rather, in this case, Z Manaphy. It gets Tail Glow, which puts it to +3. It's 100 and everything. When it hits Tail Glow, it kills a lot. Yeah, Hydration, obviously I can use just Rust Hydration with Rain Dance. That sort of set basically heals me to full completely, and I just, yeah. Could be interesting. Z Rain Dance, obviously. And I've got a fair bit of coverage that I can hit most things in the format. I mean, there's not too much that actually resists water. But, you know, I can hit other water types with Energy Ball, for example. Yeah. It'll be interesting. I can hit grass types with Ice Beam, for example. Yeah, it'll be quite interesting mod to use. People say it's one of those mons that's only really good against people who aren't that good. But there's plenty of people who aren't that good in this league, so who knows? It might get a few kills here and there. If nothing else, I can use it quite defensively because it's so versatile. 100 base stats on everything. It does get Heal Bell as well, which is quite good. I can put it in like a cleric sort of position. It gets U-turn, and the pivot is obviously really important. And getting into my 5th one, which is a load of Ninetales. Now, it's like this team looks very hyper offense at this point, and I was just like, oh, I don't really know what to get you for hyper offense. I'm like, I'm not doing hyper offense, I'm just drafting my offense first. But making people afraid of my team is always a good thing. But yeah, getting Aurora Veil and 2 strong offensive typings in Ice and Fairy is a really, really good thing. Snow Warning obviously sets Hail, but yeah, Aurora Veil for second double screens up really protects things like Manaphy and Landorus and Medicham to the point where they can live a few more hits should they not be able to claim a kill. They don't just have to act as like revenge kills now, and anything that's Scarf just beats them. At this point, I can give them a little bit more bulk, so I can live an attack from like a Scarf Mon, and then just slam it down in their face and murder things. I also get Nasty Plot Agility, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I get Ice Shard as well for priority, it's quite good. Basically just another special attacker, which is quite strong to go with my couple of physical ones. Yeah, I think it has a good... It's 109, so I think at the moment, and I think in general, I'll just have to check a little bit. Let's go for... I think it's the fastest mon on my team. Yeah, it's definitely the fastest mon on my team. Yeah, 109 base speed is obviously not quite hitting the 110 which I'd like, but it's still pretty good. 109, a lot of stuff sitting around the 100 mark is always a good thing to force people to prep for. Next coming up, we've got Jagulgi. Now, I really like Jagulgi. It's a toxic spike setter for 1. It's got ridiculous special defense in 123 and usable HP 65. Defense in 90 is not even that bad, and 97 special attacks decent. Okay, sure, it's a bit slow, but adaptability will hurt people. I don't see myself running Poison Touch, but Poison Point could come in useful if people want to use physical attacks on me. Not that I really want to stay on that. But it gets some decent coverage as well. It gets things like Hydro Pump and Scold, Shadow Ball, along with it, obviously, and T-Ball, and obviously adaptability doubles my stab, I believe. So yeah, stab's 2 instead of 1.5. So that Draco Meteor is effectively hitting at 230 base power. Yeah, and the poison moves, like Sludge Wave, for example, hitting at 190 is really good. So, you know, it gets some good things to do. Mainly it's going to be just a Toxic Spike setter. Wear down opponent teams, really, really good special defensive wall. Yeah, especially when, like, you think about what your team's weak to at the moment. Like, I need a bit more protection here, to be honest. Going up into that, we then have Delmise. Now, Delmise is a rapid spinner, so I really, really needed a rapid spinner. I was like, and I really needed a ghost type to block spinning as well, to basically make Bishop really, really good. Now, I've got some hazards to protect now. Delmise is good because it's basically got 3 different stabs. Anchor Shot obviously acts as a stab move as well, technically, which is 80 base power, and it obviously prevents switching. Excuse me there. So that can really, really help. It gets Synthesis, which is nice to keep it topped up, even though its PP is not the best. But yeah, it generally prefers to be run physical. 131, again, really good attack somehow. 100 defense means it's decent defensively, and yeah, it's basically, it gets some decent moves. The whole thing is basically, it's a spin blocker and a spinner myself. That's really, really good. It's a decently high tier one as well, and I don't have to rely on something like Kamala, which is like one of the other options. Yeah, which I'm actually facing week 1. So it's good to have something like this to protect me a little bit more. Anchor Shot and like Power Whip, I believe it is, or like really, really strong stab. I think it's Power Whip. Yeah, Power Whip. I get Pain Split and Synthesis, so you know I can walk around things. I get Knockoff. It's cool. It's a nice mon. I don't know if it's my favourite. I was a bit iffy on it, to be honest, just like I was quite a bit iffy on Manaphy. But it'll be interesting to use, I think, and probably integral to my main strategy. Moving on to, I believe it's round 8 now. I decided to pick up my low tier at round 8. I picked up Masquerain. So Masquerain is not only a web setter, which is integral. I wanted something that I could bring every single week if need be. And like sticky webs every single week is never a bad thing. Bishop, Landorus, and Medicham under webs. Woo, that's terrifying. Manaphy even as well. Like putting webs on is really good. Intimidate obviously helps allow them to get in safer. It's got U-turn as well, which makes it easier. That pivot potential as well. I can also run Unnerve if I really want to. Probably won't too much, but like a nerve is always good if they've got like a resistant berry or something. And it's typing bug and flying. Not only gives me another ground immunity, which really helps, but basically I am 4 times resistant to fighting, which is like the main problem on my team. At least for Bishop anyway. It also gets defog, not that I'll probably use it too much, because obviously I prefer the rapid spin. But yeah, basically it gets some nice stuff, it gets quivered on, so I might think about doing some offensive. But basically, sticky webs. We like webs. We like webs. Webs helps our team, so yeah, I guess it was a decent one. It was in tier 5, it's a steal. I want to make this do some work this season. With all the threats I've got, I think it's a useful one to have. Next up, we've got Gigalith. Yeah, Gigalith basically allows Landorus to shine because we're not allowed Sheer Force. We've got Sand Force. I thought, well, might as well get Sand, so I'm running Double Weather. Could have been running Triple for Manaphy, you know. One of our other options, if we didn't get Dhelmise, was Torkoal, so we could run in Quadruple. At that point, I was just like, if I've got Quadruple Weather, I'm drafting Cast Form. It doesn't matter, because that would have been funny. But no, we're just going for Double Weather, really. This has got really, really nice defensive in a 130 and 85 HP. It's got 135 attack. Like, what is this? It's 25 speed as well, so like no one's really just going to Trick Room us and win. I do have some slow mons that are good in Trick Room, especially like Dhelmise is pretty good in Trick Room as well, with 40 speed, and I think Dragolgi's not much better than that either. So yeah, Gigalith's pretty good to have. It's a Stealth Rocker as well, which is nice. I'm not really going to be running Autotomize or anything, but mainly going to be just Stealth Rock, maybe Substitute, Toxic, and just Stone Edging things basically. Maybe Gravity every now and again, I don't know. Just help Landorus. But yeah, basically it's just a nice defensive wall, defensive pivot to have, really. Heavy Slam's quite nice, actually. That's great, yeah. It's just one of those things, and the Sand is really nice to have for this team, so just pushing it to that extra threat level is something that I really appreciate. Now next up I was like, okay, right, so who can actually snipe me? There's a couple of ones I want left. I need a normal type because I need another Ghost Resist. Ghost is quite a problem now with things like Dhelmise and Medicham and what I'd planned later on, which you can obviously see there as Delphox. Like, Ghost types were going to be a problem. I needed a normal type. There wasn't too much around. I could have got Exploud and Meloetta, but like, you know, Null is more defensive and more versatile even. I mean, it's 95 in everything except speed. Which is really, really good. He is a surprisingly bulky. Battle Armor can't be crit. Perfect for someone who gets hacked a lot. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Masquerain is Joker because Persona 5. And this is Furfrau, because I sent a gif of Nina from Full Metal Alchemist to my friend Kurt, and he thought it was a Furfrau. Yeah. So yeah, basically Sleep Talk, Rest, Facade. It gets U-turn again. Gets a bit of coverage, not as much as Silvally, which is unfortunate, but I'm basically going to use this as a pivot, a bit of a hazard spreader maybe. Maybe Icy Wind is like speed control again outside of the like webs. Heal Block's really good to have as Pursuit as well. But basically just a nice defensive pivot for the most part. I might run an SD set at one point. You never know. I could sweep with this. Probably not. But it's there. The option's there if I need it, and hopefully Furfrau will be quite a good usage here. Then we've got Delphox as our final one. Now I couldn't actually be sniped at this point, so I was just like, yep, getting Delphox. Not only does the fire type resist a lot of the problems I had in the team beforehand, unfortunately Psychic wasn't the best, but it also gave me a Wish Passer, which is something I really, really needed. Wish, like clerics in general, are really hard to come by. Like Kamala had gone at that point. I couldn't afford a Chansey. Blissey went. My team didn't particularly like Espeon too much, even though that would have been pretty nice, to be honest. And Licky like got sniped from us. In the round we got Gigalith, so yeah, well this is a trick. It has trick, it's got nice stab, either way. Carmine, it can be offensive or defensive. Like 75 HP is nice. It's 114 special attack. Like, what is it with these humongous like attack stats and stuff? 100 special defense is pretty nice though to support Dragalge, especially because like Dragalge's weak to like dragon and ice and stuff. And although like the show ground weakness is quite nice to have double special defensive wall sort of things. Seem like it's annoying that both Gigalith and Null show like a fighting weakness, but Dhelmise is there for that. For both actually. It kind of covers like them all. Like is this like for my 5 different walls per se? Oh, sorry for that. For my 5 different walls, like Dhelmise sits nicely between the physical and the special stuff just to protect them all. And that's cool. Yeah, 104 speed's actually quite fast. It's one of the fastest members of my team, which is really weird to think so. 104. And Ninetales is 109, so yeah, 104 speed. But yeah, Delphox is good to have, I think. I won't be running Magician too much, I don't think. I think Blaze is probably the better option. To be honest, I might run Magician sometimes, who knows, just to steal an item every now and again. But like switch rules thing, so. But also Trick Room. Not that I'm really going to be, because it's quite a fast mon, but if I want to run a Trick Room Gigalith or Null, Dhelmise, I don't know. It's an option. It's an option. Who doesn't love options? It's a Will-O-Wisper as well, which is really cool. It's a nice support cleric-like mon that I can use. Obviously, I do have like status healers in Manaphy and Null, so it's not too much overburdened on it. But getting that wish is a really nice thing to have, especially off of like 75 HP is not the worst. It will probably fill up the most of the HP, and the guys don't want it to anyway because they're quite fragile. Overall, it's definitely strong. It's not the strongest I've drafted, but it's a very nice team to have. I think it's going to force a lot of prep because there's so many different threats. My walls aren't particularly the strongest, but they're very specialised, and that's something I like. And I like how my hazards support my team. So yeah, that's it for my own team analysis. So now we're going to have a look at other people's teams. Now, I'm going to gloss over the teams that I don't play, purely because I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. But there we go. Okay, so let's go from the start. First of all, we've got the Adelaide Bolt Strikers. Now, I played these guys week 9. Yeah, from what I can see here, the main threats are obviously Megazard, Gengar, Zam, and Virizion. To be honest, but Comfy, I've used before. It's quite terrifying at times. And it's got some nice walls, but I don't think this is particularly one of the strongest teams. I think this is a team that Bishop kind of beats quite well against the Zam and Gengar, and the Comfy it can take down, and Frost as well. So it doesn't really appreciate facing Bishop, nor does it appreciate facing things like Landorus. So I think I should be okay against this team. This is not one of the scarier teams. Next up, we've got the Aussie Kangaskhan with excellent name. So he's one of the people who helped me draft my team, at least like going into the mid-late stages of it, and kind of like held each other's picks, etc. He is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, and I'm so glad I don't play him. Megazam, Zygarde 50, Scolipede, Darmanitan, Tornadus. That's pain to deal with. Perhaps not as painful as mine, but like pain to deal with. Like really good offensive. It's nice bulky offensive, but it's the Finny, Ferrothorn, like Mesprit, Kangaskhan, Wars. It's a very terrifying team. Like on paper, you go, there's not many switches to Zygarde, and he's got some of them. Like who let him get that Fire Dragon? Dragon Fairy Steel Core. You know, like I have no idea. Even the Water Fire Grass is yeah, almost the same thing, but like yeah. It's a scary team, to be honest. We'll see. Who knows? If we make it to playoffs, we might play him. Then we've got the Bellevue Farfetch'd with Chewy. He was directly after me in draft. He is at 10th spot. We don't play him. Not that it matters. I would have liked to play him because, to be honest, getting a Toxapex round 1, he's definitely a Trick Room team, if not a stall team, with things like Hariyama and Tyrantrum, Trevenant, and Cineroar, like Mega Kangaskhan, Apex, Cresselia. Like, he's a very slow team. Quite a lot of bulk on it. I think Stack Attack is going to be his main thing, but he's probably going to be forced to run Trick Room every week. And I don't know how well that's going to work out for him, but we don't play him, so maybe that's a good thing, because ours is such a fast team, we don't particularly want to face Trick Room. Who knows? Next we've got the Boston Beedrills. This is Miticus, so I used to start as Miticus as assistant coach. And, well, yeah. Lander sweeps this team. This is week 4. So, Mitty, if you are watching this, you want to make a lot of transactions, because I'm going to town on you so hard. Yeah, there's who thought 3 fire types was a good idea? I don't know. Regular Beedrill? I do not know. Yeah. Somehow, I think he randomized a lot of his picks, but somehow randomizing Sun in Ninetales to Houndoom, who knows. Not to be rude, I don't think he's going to pick up many wins this season. Going into it, we've got Kurt. Now, Kurt's not had the best luck in the past, but recently he's doing a lot better in other leagues that I'm in. He's also in my team for the UPA. So yeah, Kurt's one of my friends here. He's kind of one of the people who pushed me forward into this sort of thing in the first place. He's got a really nice team here, and I play him week 11. He's got Mega Morwell and Zapdos Kyurem, which are really nice. Unfortunately, he's got a lot of flying types. And when I say a lot, I mean 4. And Zapdos, Golbat, Minior, and Moltres. So there's a lot of ice weakness, like Diggersby, Zapdos, Kyurem, Golbat, Minior. Well, Minior's not technically, Moltres isn't technically, but you know, you get the gist. And Amoonguss, like, they're not appreciating ice type attacks particularly, or rocks to be honest either. Especially Rabombi, Zapdos, Kyurem, Golbat, Minior, Moltres. They don't appreciate rocks. I think he's going to need to make some transactions, because this is a team with a lot of weaknesses that are easy to take a hidden power onto. Going up next, we've got Panther. He's one of the commissioners here, the Carolina Clefable. We get to play him week 8. Who let this guy get Tapu Koko Victini? Mega Pinsir? I do not know. He franchised a Vaporeon, so yeah. I do not like the fact I have to play this team, but the double normal does help, even though one's technically not. Doesn't have to be normal. I think this is something that Medi can go to town on. We'll see. Chelsea Cloisters, so this is my week 1 match. Elite Four down, one of the other commissioners of the league here. He's got Celesteela, which is one of the few mons that Landorus doesn't do well against. Mega Heracross and Azumarill and Zygarde are the main problems on this team. He does not have many hazard removal. Kamala is his only hazard removal. This is the best thing in the world, because that means he is so screwed. You know, if I beat Celesteela, I think... but if I kill Kamala, to be honest, I have ways of beating Celesteela, but it's GG after that, I guess. There isn't too much that he can do to beat me if webs are up. If webs stay up, especially. So yeah, obviously here's my own team. Then we've got the Dunfirm Laloons and our rival Jock. We are 1-1 together. 0 differential. It's great. And all the times we played, which is twice. Both in Little Cup. Hopefully I'll see him in Little Cup in playoffs. Here we don't face him. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's an okay team. Blacephalon, Mega Gallade, Scissor. Could do well. I don't know if he's going to put too much work into this or not, because he seems a bit iffy lately. So who knows? But yeah, he's alright. Diancie could be a secret threat there. He did well last season. Jock, who knows how he'll do. Who knows how he'll do. He's a good player, but not quite in the right mindset recently. Then we've got Slick Panther, who, for the first 4 picks, people were calling him Stool Panther. Classic Clefable, Gothita, Mega Saber, like Yuga is like, you know, and then Steelix on top of that, and even Tentacle, like, he's not exactly going to be the most offensive team, relying largely on Talonflame, Barbaracle, and Lucario. I guess Manectric and Taurus, but like, he's got a very, very bulky team, one that the first three at very least are quite common with store teams, so yeah, we play in week 3. Let's see how that works out for him. I don't like having Mega Sableye against me, because that means I can't really abuse hazards that well, but I think this is something Manaphy can do well against. Then we've got Floridian Typhlosion, so my friend Silver. We play him at the very last week, week 12. Mega Scizor Latios, who knows? He's got Tapu Lele last round somehow. No one knows how that happened. Could be interesting, but yeah, like, overall record is 78-22 and 18-3 in playoffs. He was basically dominating the entirety of last season up until like the last couple of weeks. I think he's seeded like 2nd overall or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, he has a lot better luck on Showdown than Wi-Fi. He's a really, really good battler. Yeah. Who knows? He'll probably make playoffs, even with a team that doesn't, on paper, look the best. Then we've got, Jacob as always, the Green Bay Pikachus. This is going to be quite a fun match in week 7 for us. So looking at his team, he's Sand as well, but with Stoutland Tyranitar. And then a bunch of weird stuff here and there. Deoxys Speed's not that good. Kartana was obviously, I think, the kill leader last season, so that'd be annoying. And of course he's got Araquanid, so it's basically going to be like a mirror match of Sand and Webs, and just see who does the best abusing it, really. Hopefully me, but yeah, we'll see what happens. He's a good player, but we don't really see too much of him, so I can't say too much. Yeah. And then we've got our friend Owen Ogobina. He's most likely going to be winning Indigo League. So that's the D League, which basically secured him his promotion to this league. We do play him, I believe. Wait, do we play? Yeah, we do. We play in week 10. It's not too bad. Terrakion, Mega Altari, Mamo, Greninja, not too bad. The Ninjask into like Meloetta or Ditto could be painful. Yeah, I'm especially aware of that Ninjask. He's got some threats, but they don't seem quite like the most impressive stuff. We'll see just how it goes. Fagrigus is an annoying part. But I'm loving the fact that he doesn't have a spinner, which will really help us in this matchup. Even though Empoleon has Defiant, and so does... Oh no, Terrakion doesn't. But yeah, Empoleon has got Defiant, so like, but who cares? My Defiant uses better than his. Then we've got Thurston. They play week 6, the Hartford Whelmers. Yeah, he stole my Serena. I'm a bit annoyed, but yeah, he's got kind of like a generic Sylveon, Mega Aggron, Garchomp, and then Wash, Serena, Chandelure. Like, he's got the cores, but they're not really what I'd call the best in each of their cores. He's got nothing really truly terrifying. Like, Garchomp just dies to any regular HP Ice. Mega Aggron's probably the hardest thing to break through on his team, and I've got a Mega Medi and a Landorus, so I don't know if I care that much. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Mienshaw's annoying. Moving on. Scotty Dr. Pepper, one of my friends here. Yeah, he's one of the admins of the league. He's the Houston Rocket Hearts, and we get to play this guy week 5. Ooh. Yeah, he's got an interesting team. Mega Nancy, he stole from us. Hippowdon, he stole from us. Like, he sniped me the most, I think. 3 times, I think it was. With Entei as well, was the 3rd one. I guess Diancie, Haxorus, Thundurus are quite threatening. But I don't know. I think we can break him. We'll see. Cradilly's the really annoying one because it stops Manaphy just going to town on him. But we'll see. The Cabalians. Oh, I don't play Beazle. I don't think his team's very good. Like, come on. He just started going stall near the end, really. I think he traded Cryogonal for something, but already. But yeah, he's really, really good with Mew. But it's a very stally team, and I don't know how much I like it. Ugh. Then we've got Obo and Houston Laxes. Unfortunately, I don't play Obo because I'd like some revenge. Because I lost to him last season, and I don't think I really should have. So, yep. He also stole Dusclops, so. But yeah, he's got a bulky offensive team, I think, is the best way to say it. Unfortunately, I don't like that as hacks, but I don't get to play him, so it's fine. Mammoth Gross. Okay, Char has got a ridiculously good team in Hooper, U, Kieran Black, Medigard, Magnezone. And then Bulk in like Tangrowth and Shuckle. And then he drafted Honedge. I do not know why, it's just funny, but I'm so glad I don't play this guy because that's painful. Ugh. Next up we've got he's one of the finalists at the moment. This is the reason why everyone's kind of drafting like meme tier 5s, because he's took a Wolverine to finals. I think by the time this video is uploaded, we'll know whether or not him or the Polar Shelf has won the previous season. But yeah, because they're playing tomorrow when this was recorded, so the New Year's Day they're playing. But yeah, this is pretty interesting team. Mega Gyarados, Latias. Yeah, Zigzagoon, but then he's got Carnivine and Heatmore. I think Heatmore is a surprise pick. I like Carnivine as well, so they're interesting low tier picks that he might have fun with. But of course, Slurpuff's a bit of a thing. Do I play this guy? I don't play this guy. It's fine, no one cares. Matt O'Shea, I'm so glad I don't play this guy. I play him. He'll be the next little cup match I actually play against. He's really strong, really good battler, and he got Mega Lopunny, he Aegislash, and then people are just crying. So he's got a nice, strong team, a nice few cores, well, Corona especially. His offense isn't really the best, but I think he's got some stuff that he can make worse, and obviously with Quillfish it stops T-Spikes running over their team. I hope he does well, because he's actually a pretty decent guy, and I'm probably gonna see if I can do some more stuff with him, because he's quite cool. But yeah, Matt's got a nice team. Very, very supportive of Mega Lopunny, you can tell. So I wouldn't be surprised if that gets some of the kill leaderboards. I don't play him, so it's great. Next up is Ultra, who I also don't play, and I'm really glad, because he's got Heatran. And my team doesn't like Heatran. Or God of War. It's a decent team, it's quite bulky. With things like Milotic Dragonite, both on like Mild Scale and stuff. I don't like Chestnut. Personal hatred against it. It's so bulky. Snorlax is hard to beat. Yeah, and then obviously Dugtrio Trapper. I think he's going to do pretty well this season. So I'm glad I don't face him, because I'm not going to be the ones being kicked out because of it. The Nidokings, it's whatever. I play him week 2. Okay, he's a good player. But this team, because Kamari doesn't get Kamari EMZ, so... And Tornadus is prone to hacks, as I certainly well know in UPA. The Bronzong's annoying, everything else is about... So, sorry mate, I don't particularly like your draft, and I am so glad that I do play you, because that means it's going to be slightly easier, and hopefully, because you're probably going to lose to Ian, let's be honest. Hopefully, you're going to lose week 1. It'll put you in a good position. Yeah. Then we've got the Polar Shelf, Soviet Slowking, so he's in the final at the moment. We'll see if he wins. With his previous team, he's got Marshadow at the moment, basically. This guy's got Mega Lati and Infernape here. And then he's running Swordsbuck as a Z user. He's going for memes. Him and Nathan are going for memes. They both decided to use their final spots from last seasons to put themselves 23rd and 24th in the draft. Just to get the wheel picks, and they're just memed the halfway through. So, you know, I don't like the Spiritomb Blissey Rhyperior thing. It's annoyingly bulky, but, you know, it will be a fun, interesting team to face. Had I faced him? I don't. And finally, another team who I also don't face, my other friend Kurt. Kurt with a K, not C though. And this guy, he's pretty decent. He's got Keldeo Megazord Y. So, another Weather War it could have been potentially, but, you know. P2 Fortress is oof. I hope he does well. He never really particularly has that much luck like me. So we'll see. Good job, Kurt, I guess. Yeah. And obviously he's got Ambipom, that's like growing up Apom. So considering that, hopefully I've got a very good season ahead of me. Hopefully I will be facing against Elite Four Dan, this guy first, in week 1. I do not like that Celesteela. And we will be doing stuff about it. Yeah, so hopefully you guys all enjoy my draft, hopefully you enjoy the season ahead, and hopefully I'll actually get to record all of these videos and you will get to see them all, and me actually do well for once. Aiming for 6 and 6, guys, as always. I will see you in the next time, in week 1, when we destroy, hopefully, Elite Four Dan, because we need to do this. Have a fun time, fly high.